Since 2019, I've helped over 300 plus men overcome premature ejaculation. I've been featured in Business Insider, and I've helped thousands more men gain confidence in the bedroom from this YouTube channel. And the goal of this video is to give you everything you need to know about edging to last longer in bed. So you can go from not lasting more than 2 minutes to being able to last over 20 minutes plus. This is gonna be a no BS, no clickbait, nothing hidden behind a paywall. Just straight to the point facts on how you can last longer in bed and tips and practices that you can implement immediately tonight and see a result. So let's jump right into it. If you wanna drastically change how long you last in the bedroom, then you need to change the way you masturbate. Most men, like me, grow up masturbating to porn and are afraid to get caught by their parents or siblings. And it makes sense. It's a very private and intimate thing for sure. But as a result, we end up masturbating in fear, and we do it as quickly as possible so no one finds out. Now, if you do this for years or even decades, you are wiring your brain and nervous system to experience fear during pleasure and to, of course, ejaculate too quickly. So in order to rewire this pattern of behavior, we need to change our masturbation habits. And this is where edging comes into play. Edging is when you stimulate yourself to the point right before ejaculation and then slow down your arousal and then start back up again. So instead of this one peak orgasm and ejaculation and then a crash, you will have these waves of pleasure and orgasm throughout the entire experience that build and build. And now I'm gonna break down exactly how to do that. First, you wanna start your edging practice with intention and an understanding that the purpose of the practice is to connect deeper with yourself and to experience more pleasure. It's not a means to an end to last longer in bed, because this will only add pressure and defeat the purpose of the practice. You also shouldn't really be doing an edging practice just because you're bored or feeling negative emotions or are running away from your problems. This is also a pattern we wanna stop doing. So instead, you wanna have clarity that this edging practice is for you. So you have to have the right mindset for this. You wanna go in with excitement, with positive emotions, that this is gonna be fun, this is gonna be pleasurable, and that you are worthy of amazing sex in your life. Your mindset and self-talk should be very supportive and loving. If you go into the practice not believing and saying, this is BS, it isn't gonna work for me, then you aren't giving yourself a chance to succeed. Now, once you have this positive mindset, make sure you set the correct amount of time and space to have an amazing practice. Don't try to squeeze it in before a meeting or a call. Ideally, you should block out an hour of your time so you have some time before the practice to settle in and after the practice to regulate and relax. This would be the time to lock your door and make sure you feel safe, you've turned off your phone, and you are ready to take this time for yourself. Now, you can also prepare a nice lube. I like to use something natural like a virgin coconut oil or a natural body butter. Then you should lay flat on your back on your bed with your feet flat on the bed and your knees pointing up to the ceiling. A really common mistake men make is once they get started stimulating their genitals, they go extremely fast to try to get to that edge. And as men, we are so goal-oriented, it can feel like, okay, this is what the objective is, so I should try to get there as soon as possible. And this may be our natural way of thinking, but we want to change and rewire this urge. So start really slow and touch your genitals in a very gentle and more sensual way to build up your sexual energy slowly. Also, to be clear, we want to try our edging practice without any visual stimulation whatsoever. It is totally okay if it takes a little bit longer to get an erection. We are so used to having porn give us an instant erection because it is literally the most stimulating thing we can possibly consume for our arousal. And because of this, we have lost touch with what it means to actually let an erection occur naturally. So give yourself the time and space to slowly build up to get an erection purely based on the sensations you are feeling in your body. And if you don't get an erection, that is perfectly okay too. The idea is to completely let go of any expectations and just be present with the sensations in your body. And this is a place where a lot of men get frustrated because they have these certain expectations of their penis. Like, it should be hard immediately when they want it to be. And if it's not, that means something's wrong, or that maybe they have ED. Most of the time, this is not the case. It's just unrealistic expectations and being way too critical of yourself. And I want to make something really clear. Your penis doesn't work for you. So instead of demanding things of it, try supporting it instead. Focus on giving your penis what it wants and needs to feel good. And one way to stop this spiral where you're overthinking is to connect deeply to your breath and get back in your body. Nice, big, vibrant inhales through the nose and elongated exhales through the mouth with an ah sound. And these are not belly breaths. They are full inhales from the pelvis to the belly up through the chest. And do this continuously throughout your entire edging session. Anytime you get lost in thought, connect back to your breath and get even louder with that ah exhale. And I bet that's making you feel uncomfortable, even hearing me do that ah. And this is another place where men can get stuck. They feel like less of a man for moaning in pleasure, like it's a girly thing to do. But trust me guys, it's not at all. And the sigh on the exhale literally sends a signal to your brain that it is okay to let go. And when we let go, we can feel our deepest pleasure. And later you will find out, if you truly embody this breath, you will realize this is one of your partner's biggest turn-ons in her life, and that is knowing you are in pleasure because of her. So give your partner that feedback. Let her know you are in pleasure by expressing it with your voice. Trust me guys, this is an absolute game changer. But for now, remember, you are alone, so only you can judge yourself. And once you let go of that judgment and allow your expression of pleasure and that ah to be free, you will unlock a level of pleasure you have never felt before. But start slow, easing into the practice with gentle sighs on the exhale, maybe like a ah, and then build up louder and louder with faster inhales, and eventually get so out of your comfort zone that you are almost screaming in pleasure on that ah. So this could start out being something like ah, ah, and then later build up to ah, 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 and then later on get even crazier to ah, ah. I know it sounds crazy, but this is how I and so many of my clients are able to literally blow past their judgment and just say F it and really truly let go into their deepest pleasure. It is so liberating to experience, so I really invite you, go for it. And when you connect to this breath for 10 plus minutes, you can start to feel a tingling sensation in your arms, in your hands, in your legs, in your face, or even a buzzing sensation in your stomach. It is really trippy and feels amazing. Now, when it comes to stimulating your genitals, you want to take it really slow also and experiment a lot. The main goal is to get to the edge maybe 5 to 10 times and then slow down your arousal after each edge. But it doesn't matter if you get to the edge in 10 seconds or 30 seconds or 5 minutes. This practice is about understanding your own body. And by the way, this is not how you're going to be having sex. Don't get ahead of yourself. This practice is for you. And if you do this practice correctly, at each edge, you will be able to separate orgasm from ejaculation. You will literally feel the orgasm sensations and even have these convulsions that you would normally have from an ejaculation, but nothing will actually come out. And this is an amazing sign that you are doing the edging practice correctly. Again, the main purpose of this practice is to become so familiar with your own body that you know exactly what to do when you're going to the edge, how to bring down your arousal, how to bring up your arousal. So when you are with a partner, you know exactly what to do. So that means you need to really be in tune with what is happening for you at each edge and stage in the process. I recommend starting very conservatively at maybe only 60% to the point of no return, pausing, and then bringing down your arousal with a few deep belly breaths, and then starting back up again, back to the edge. If you go too fast, too hot out of the gate, and try to go to like 90% of the edge, you might take it too far and you will be stuck in damage control, fighting off the urge to ejaculate for the rest of the session. This is exactly what we don't want. We want to prevent this from happening, especially when you are with a partner. So what we want is to be in control the entire time and know exactly where we stand. When you get super comfortable at that 60%, 70% to the point of no return and know how to handle yourself, you will start to master your sexual energy. And this means knowing exactly what you need in terms of level of genital stimulation and your breath pattern. So understanding what happens when you breathe really quickly, and stimulate yourself super fast versus when you breathe really slowly, and stimulate yourself very gently. This way, if you want to get to the edge quicker or come down from the edge slowly, you know exactly what you need to do. It's also really important to note that when you start an edging practice, there will be this innate part of you. I call it the devil on your shoulder or your ego that will be trying to convince you to go a little bit closer to the edge, to take it a little further. Come on, it feels so good. Because your body and mind will be trying to get you to ejaculate. This is a huge part of the practice, understanding this part of yourself and acknowledging it, and at the same time, being able to say no to it. Do not listen to this voice. For me, when it arrives, it is a signal to slow down and be more conservative, especially if I've already decided and set the intention that I'm not going to ejaculate. So just be prepared that this voice and this primal part of you will arrive, and it might take you a bunch of practices to not fall into this trap and get fooled by him. And that is totally okay. It's part of the process. You can't expect to master your edging practice in the first try. It is a journey, and every practice brings up something different. Some days are more pleasurable than others. Some days you rush. Some days you're too stressed, you aren't feeling it. This is totally fine. A realistic aim or goal should be to have an edging practice that's around 10 to 20 minutes long with 5 to 10 edges. The first maybe 5 to 10 practices, you should be willing to go over the edge in order to truly understand what is taking it too far for you. And then after you feel like you're really getting the hang of it, you can start to end practices without ejaculating. And this will be available for you once you really know how to move your sexual energy with your breath, because when you finish your sessions, you won't have blue balls at all. Now, if you stop watching porn and you stick to an edging practice for the next 3 to 4 weeks, you will see a drastic improvement in your ability to feel pleasure and gain control in the bedroom. Now, the question remains, will you actually put in the work and make these changes in your life? I really hope you do, because all I care about is that you are able to solve this problem and have an amazing sex life. But I want to address something I get in the comments all the time. Why don't you just give your program away for free and post it online if you really want to help people? And the truth is, I have experimented with giving my entire program out for free because I truly want to help as many men around the world as possible overcome performance anxiety and transform their sex lives. But you know what I found? That when people get it for free, they don't actually value it. They don't put in the work. They stop showing up, so they don't actually get a result. And that's because they have no skin in the game. There's no sacrifice made and nothing on the line. When men pay to work with me, they are making a commitment to themselves and their partners. They're saying, I have to make this change. I want the accountability. I want the support, and I don't want to stop until the problem is solved. And a financial commitment shows this. But hey, if you can just watch a video like this and you can do this on your own, that is awesome and honestly makes me so happy. That's why I'm sharing it. But when I really think about this, I am very biased because of my own personal story. And that's because I struggled with performance anxiety for over 15 years and I wasn't able to figure it out on my own. That's the truth. I needed the support and guidance from a coach to help me overcome my blocks or my blind spots and to make sure I was actually doing the exercises correctly. Now, if you are sick of dealing with premature ejaculation all on your own and are looking for direct coaching and guidance, click the link below in the description and book a call directly with me, and let's see if we are the right fit to work together. And if not, make sure you check out this next video here on female pleasure so you can give your partner some of the best orgasms of her life.